everyone, I am Richumi Ilakdaying and I will be discussing to you the 3 local curricular innovations. These are the 2002 Basic Education Curriculum, 3rd Elementary Education Program, and Secondary Education Improvement and Development Program. Addressing the Future, Curriculum Innovations. Curriculum Innovations, Local and Global Trends. The first local curriculum innovation is the 2002 Basic Education Curriculum. The Department of Education envisions every learner to be functionally literate, equipped with life skills, appreciative of arts and sports, and imbued with the desirable values of a person who is makabayan, makatao, makakalikasan, at makadiyos. The demands of the learning environment, the society, and the Filipino learner define the parameters that govern the elements of the curriculum. These elements include objectives, content, materials, teaching-learning process, and evaluation. Here are the elements of the curriculum. First is the objective. Objectives are expressed in terms of competencies in knowledge, skills, and attitudes. These determine the content, which focuses on the processes and skills of learning how to learn rather than on the content coverage of facts and information. The second is content. This is delivered using a variety of media and resources. From the traditional textbook resources, teachers are encouraged to use ICT and community resources. Content is contextualized so that the curriculum is adjusted to the situation and local culture. Next, the materials. The use of multisensory materials is encouraged in teaching. Real objects, three-dimensional models, audiovisuals, and real-life situations are effective tools in delivery of the teaching-learning process. The use of local or community resources, as well as technology-driven support materials, are utilized in the learning environment. Next is the evaluation. Learning is assessed using a variety of measures. The use of both the traditional and the authentic assessment is mandated for purposes of gathering information about the learners in a holistic manner. Authentic assessment, when appropriate, should be encouraged in order for the students to apply knowledge and skills learned in the same way they are used in the real world. The last element of the curriculum is the teaching-learning process. This considers the learners as active partners rather than objects of teaching. The learners are constructors of meaning, while the teachers act as facilitators, enablers, and managers of learning. The salient features of the curriculum. Studies of the past curriculum indicate that there is overcrowdedness, which was a hindrance to lifelong learners. So, to decongest the curriculum, Beck restricted it into only 5 learning areas, namely English, mathematics, science, Filipino, and Makabayan. English, mathematics, and science are subjects to develop internationalism, while Makabayan, together with Filipino, is a learning area which will enhance nationalism. Makabayan is the laboratory of life to develop a healthy personal and national identity. Makabayan's a learning area requires an adequate understanding of Philippine history, our political economic system, local cultures, crafts, arts, music, and games. It stresses on the development of social awareness, empathy, and firm commitment to the common good. Integrative teaching as mode of instructional delivery. Integrative teaching works best in the basic education curriculum. It is so because the curriculum is treated in a holistic manner. The process is interactive, collaborative, and innovative. Four examples are given to describe integrative teaching. These are the thematic teaching, content-based instruction, focusing inquiry, and generic competency model. The first integrative teaching is the thematic teaching. It requires organization of themes around the ideas. The theme provides focus and helps learners see the meaningful connections across subject areas. It links ideas to action and learning to life. For example, the theme chosen is Philippine Festival. You must know that our country celebrates various festivals in its different provinces, towns, or cities. The different subject areas, in this particular case, use the different features of a particular festival as the subject matter. Second is the content-based instruction, or CBI. This is the integration of content learning with language teaching. The language curriculum is centered on the academic needs and interests of the learners. Thus, CBI crosses the barriers between language and subject matter content. This approach aims at developing the learner's academic language skills. Third is the focusing inquiry. This is an interdisciplinary approach that uses questions to organize learning. Learners become creators rather than recipients of knowledge. Contents and concepts are given less importance than the process of conducting an investigation and communicating what was learned to others. Instructional process is built around inquiry, where teachers guide the students to discover answers to questions. Using what learners already know as a starting point, they generate questions about things they do not know yet. They design a method of investigation and gather information on their own. Lastly, the generic competency model. Here, learners are enrolled in 3 to 4 linked or related courses or subject areas. In Makabayan, for instance, competencies can be clustered into personal development, social competencies, and work and special skills. The subject specialist teaches her subject, and activities will draw on processes and skills important to each discipline. The second local curriculum innovation is the Third Elementary Education Program, or TEEP. This was a flagship project of the Department of Education in response to the social reform agenda initiatives of the government. The project was focused only in the elementary level, and the goals were improved learning achievement, improved completion rates, access to quality elementary education. Further, TEEP aimed to build institutional capacity of the Department of Education to manage change and actively involve parents, teachers, community leaders as stakeholders for quality education. TEEP was funded by World Bank and Japan Bank for International Cooperation. TEEP began in 1996 and concluded in 2005. Evaluation of the different components were held, and hopefully the results would be coming out soon. Initial findings revealed that there are indicators of improved learning achievement and the rise in completion rates of the students. Access to quality elementary education had also been achieved. As planned, the best practices of the curricular innovations of the pilot divisions would be implemented by other divisions all throughout the country. What are the major educational components of TEEP? These are advocacy, in-service training for teachers or INSET, School Improvement and Innovation Facility or SIIF, Student Assessment, Educational Management Information System or EMIS, Procurement, monitoring and evaluation, and principal empowerment. The third local curriculum innovation is the Secondary Education Improvement and Development Program, or SEDIP. This is a curricular innovation which dovetailed the Third Elementary Education Project, or TEEP. Its purpose was to improve equitable access to secondary education in poverty-affected areas. These are the objectives of the Secondary Education Improvement and Development Program. First, to improve the quality and relevance of secondary education in project provinces. Second, to increase the rates of participation in and completion of secondary education in the undeserved areas. Third, to support the decentralization process towards the transfer of greater management responsibilities and decision-making authority to the schools and offices at the provincial levels. The SEDIP revolved around three important components. These are improving teaching and learning, improving access to secondary education, facilitating decentralized secondary education management. These three important components are within the parameters of curriculum development. In improving teaching and learning, curriculum innovation centered on: first, the development of skills and competencies of school heads in school planning and management and instructional support for teachers. Second, improving teachers' subject knowledge and teaching skills. Third, improving the availability of learning materials by providing textbooks, teaching manuals, and other instructional materials. Fourth, improving learning environment through the construction and/or rehabilitation of school facilities and procurement of furniture and equipment for classrooms, laboratories, and other school facilities. Another component is the access to education. This provides schooling alternatives to students who are unable to attend school regularly and open new school with the assistance and collaboration of local government units with the provision of facilities, equipment, training of teachers, and school heads. Decentralizing secondary education management is an innovation which strengthened the planning and management capacity, supported the monitoring and evaluation capacity, developed policy research management and analysis capacity, improved the educational management information system, developed local and school-based in-service training, and supported the new textbook procurement and delivery system. The Secondary Education Improvement and Development Program innovation started in 2000 and ended in 2006. Initial results showed gains, and best practices have been replicated in other divisions which were not participants in the project. Innovation in education encourages teachers and students to explore, research, and use all the tools to uncover something new. It involves a different way of looking at problems and solving them. The thinking process that goes into it will help the students develop their creativity and their problem-solving skills.
Good day, everyone. I am Shairil D. Argilias. My task is to discuss three key topics in current educational innovation. These are the new curriculum in BE Ed and BS Ed, the ladderized curriculum of Bachelor of Technical Teacher Education, and instructional and curricular excellence in school leadership and management. The new teacher education curriculum was implemented by CMO number 30 series of 2004. There are two teacher education degrees which are offered by the teacher training institutions. These are the Bachelor of Elementary Education or BE-Ed and the Bachelor of Secondary Education or BS-Ed. The BE-Ed is structured to meet the needs of professional teachers for elementary schools and special education programs, and the BS-Ed for the needs of professional teachers in junior high school in the Philippines. The new teacher education curriculum is made up of three components. For both the BE-Ed and the BS-Ed, a 63-unit general education is required. Professional education courses for BE-Ed is 54 units, while the BS-Ed requires 51 units. The specialization or content of courses required for the elementary teachers is 57 units, and those who will be teaching in the high school are required 60 units of content. Both degree courses require 174 units. Next is the ladderized curriculum for Bachelor of Technical Teacher Education or BTTE. The Bachelor of Technical Teacher Education prepares teachers in technical vocational education and higher education institutions who are equipped not only with strong theoretical understanding of teaching and technology, but also with exposure to industry. The curricular program of BTTE shall impart knowledge, skills, attitudes, values, and experience that will provide prospective teachers with the necessary competencies essential in effective teaching. The general education component of BTTE is composed of 60 units of courses in humanities, languages, natural and behavioral sciences, computer proficiency, mathematics, logic, and ethics, which are all aimed to make a person broadly educated, creative, cultured, morally upright, and productive. Professional studies component includes philosophy and aims technology education, curriculum development, and teaching learning processes. It also includes clinical experiences in teaching and the mastery of the Philippine Trainers Qualification Framework. Specialization component that includes the in-depth knowledge of content and specified skills in the major fields, including industry exposure. Instructional technology component includes competencies in the use of technology in teaching and training. We have two curricular model for BTTE. Model A is offered for high school graduates who could meet the admission requirements of the college. The characteristics of the model are as follows. The program of study for the general and professional education subjects is based on CHED Memorandum Number 30 Series of 2004. The technology major subjects are based on the competency standards indicated in the training regulations of the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority. The interfacing of CHED and TESDA provides the students to exit after 1, 2, or 3 years with specific job opportunities or allows them to continue their studies for the 4 years of BTTE, giving full credits to all subjects taken in the previous years. If the students prefer to work after 1 year of study, he could exit the ladderized program with Certificate of Achievement. He or she is also qualified to take the assessment for national certificate administered by TESDA. Students who choose to finish the 4-year BTTE degree should meet the criteria for admission to the degree. After finishing the 4 years BTTE program, he or she can be issued their diploma which qualifies them to take the licensure examination for teachers. Next, the curricular model B for BTTE is offered to the graduates of the 2-year TRACE technical curriculum and the 3-year Diploma of Technology program in different area of specialization. The characteristics of the model are as follows. Students will have at least 1 year industry experience aside from the industry immersion or the on-the-job training. On-the-job training or industry experience is requirement leading to a 4-year baccalaureate degree or the ladderized Bachelor of Technical Teacher Education. Students in this model intend to become prospective teachers in the respective area of specialization. Next is the Instructional and Curricular Excellence in School Leadership for Southeast Asia. This is a short course package of CMU Innotech for elementary and secondary administrators on developing instructional and development leadership. It addresses the need to develop and strengthen the school head's role as an instructional leader in promoting or improving the quality of teaching and learning in his or her school. The course was based on a competency framework for Southeast Asian school heads, which Simeo Innotech developed and validated with the Ministries of Education from 10 Simeo member states. The framework consists of general and enabling sub-competencies that describe what school heads are expected to do and improve on to make them more successful on performing their work. Moving forward to the special features of the innovation, first is the delivery of instruction. Teaching in the EXCLS is primarily delivered through printed self-instructional modules, augmented by the use of interactive tools such as chat, discussion forums, and mail, among other learning support systems. To facilitate the use of the chat, discussion forums, and other communication features, learners should have valid email address. The learning modules are instructionally designed to be interactive and to incorporate the 4 A's of adult learning, which are the activity, analysis, abstraction, and application. Each module is made up of these components: pre-organizers and advanced organizers, module pre-test and post-test, pre or post self-rating competency checklist, interactive learning methodologies such as activities, insight-forming questions, lecturettes and readings, discussions topic, summaries, and other link resources, lesson review tests, practical exercises and feedback on the test, a module assignment, glossary of terms, and a list of references and suggested additional reading and links. Next is the learning modality. After the students get their learning package, they can immediately study at their own pace and time. Learners should be able to manage their time such they will finish one module in 2 weeks and 2 modules in 4 weeks. During the period, the students should study the printed modules and check on the discussion forum online in the iFlex. Learners and tutors should interact among themselves. Aside from the class interaction during discussions, each student is required to submit assignments, reflection paper, and action plan, either in hard or soft copies to the tutor for evaluation. The 3 requirements make the learning portfolio which the tutor will evaluate. Another one is the evaluation system. Each learner will be given feedback in the form of qualitative narratives by the tutors for their outputs. They will also receive a rating for each major requirement and for their participation in the discussion group. The ratings will be issued by the tutor, which has an equivalent as follows. A is for excellent, B for pass, and C as deficient. Learners who successfully completed the course will be awarded a certificate of completion by Simeo Inotech and academic credits from partner training institutions. The duration of time expected of all learners to finish the course is 50 hours, which is equivalent to a 3-unit course. The time spent includes self-study of the module, participation in the online discussion, preparation and submission of the module activities, which are the contents of learning portfolio. A maximum of 2 weeks is given to accomplish each module. iFlex DepEd EXCLS is an example of distance education and e-learning. The UP Open University also embarked in various distance education programs, and it is popularly known as the UPOU curricular programs. The use of technology alone or in combination of other delivery systems has been the in thing in educational innovation. This development has made education very accessible to all. It has also conquered the barriers of distance, space, and time in education. And that ends my discussion. Thank you for listening.
Hi, good day everyone. I am Mary Grace Pobokan. My part is on the Global Curricular Innovations. Global Curricular Innovations. Project Child. The Computer Helping Instruction and Learning Development is a research-based instructional delivery system that enables one to intensify the curriculum with technology on hands of learning. Child goals are to: first, modify the school structure and create classroom conditions conducive to learning with technology. Second, create a cohesive unit of work that fosters strategies for thinking. Third, rein curriculum for reading, language arts, and mathematics so as to cover legally mandated content and integrating fully the use of computer in the curriculum. It aims to increase academic performance, develop reasoning abilities, problem solving, decision making, and knowledge application, communicating effectively, and emphasizes the development of mathematics in early years. Structure and procedure of Child. Child focuses on K-5 self-contained teaching using a triangulated approach. Cluster of 3 experts work across 3 grade levels to teach 3 basic formats in technology, hands-on and paper and pencil. The primary level cluster is made up of K to grade 2, and the intermediate cluster is grade 3 to 5. One classroom is set up for reading, one for writing, and one for mathematics. Each of the 3 teachers in each cluster becomes content specialist for one of the 3 Project Child subject areas. He or she is also responsible for one grade level classroom. Learners from each grade level in the cluster move among the classrooms to spend 1 hour per day working in each of the 3 major areas. Thus, the teachers will work in their specialized field with the same learners for 3 years. 6 stations or learning centers in a Project Child classroom. First, computer station for the technology-based learning. Second, textbook station for written work. Third, challenge station for activities in game formats. Fourth, the imagination station for creative expression. Fifth, exploration station for hands-on activities. Sixth, teacher station for additional instructional support. Learners follow a precise management plan for moving from one station to the another. Goals are set and activities are recorded in a book called Passport. Required curriculum content is covered in 6-week thematic units. Project Child Materials. First is the Station Planning Guidelines. The planning guidelines are organized in 6 weeks topical units. The contents include suggested software, which are referenced to state standards, teaching tips, skills checklist for each grade level, list of materials and resources, and station activity pages. Next, the station activities or task cards. A companion of station planning guidelines provide ideas for hands-on station activities. It directs the learners to work, since specific objectives and directions are given for them to work independently and constructively. Passport. This is the management tool to help students become more organized and focused on their work. It is also used to set and assess the goals of the learners. The passport is brought home after the end of 6-week unit for the parents to look into. In this way, the parents become an integral part of the learning team. Both the parents and the learners will understand the academic significance of the station activities. Teacher Manual. This is a complete guide to assist teachers in implementing the child instructional program. The manual includes the overview of child, getting started, planning station activities, assessment, managing the classroom, roles and responsibilities, and essential components. It has also a portion for record keeping, students' certificates, and other classroom management tools. Next, we have Leadership Guide. It is composing of materials in making presentations to community groups and strategies to involve the school adopting the effective practices in Project Child. Next, Special Needs Inclusion Guide. This is a timely resource for both regular and exceptional teachers to support the inclusion of special needs in classroom. We also have Training Facilitator Guide. It includes comprehensive trainings, overviews, transparencies, and handouts for workshop participations. The second global curricular innovation is brain-based learning. It is an approach to teaching based on research in neuroscience. It suggests that our brain learns naturally. This theory is based on what is currently known about the structure and function of the brain at the varying stages of development. This provides a biologically driven framework for teaching and learning and helps the recurring learning behaviors. Brain-based theory includes an electric mix of techniques. Currently, these techniques stress allowing teachers to connect learning to students learning real-life experiences. This form of learning also encompasses education concepts like mastery learning, problem-based learning, cooperative education, multiple intelligence, learning styles, experiential learning, among others. Core principles guiding brain-based education. First, the brain perceives whole and parts simultaneously. Second, the brain is parallel processor which can perform activities at once. Third, information is stored in multiple areas of the brain and is retrieved through multiple memory and neutral pathways. Fourth, learning engages the whole body. All learning is mind-body, which is movement, food, attention cycles, chemicals modulate learning. Fifth, human search for meaning is innate. Sixth, search for meaning comes from patterning. Next, Emotions are critical to patterning and drive our attention, meaning, and memory. Meaning is more important than information. Learning involves focused attention and peripheral perception. We have two types of memory, the spatial and rote. The brain is social. It develops better in concert and other brains. Complex learning is enhanced by challenge and inhibited by stress. Every brain is uniquely organized. Learning is developmental. From the principles regarding the brain-based theory, several interactive teaching elements emerge. First, we have orchestrated immersion. Learning environments are created to provide authentic learning experiences. For example, in the elementary level, teachers can use the school's mini forest to identify trees, animals, and other plants and find out how they live together. High school students can go out on field trip to nearby forest or mangrove to observe and identify symbiotic relationships, communities, and ecological systems. Relaxed alertness. In brain-based learning, efforts are made to eliminate fear while maintaining a highly challenging environment. Teachers may play classical music when appropriate to set a relaxed tone in the classroom. Bright lights are dimmed. Scented candles are lighted to calm the senses or stimulate the senses. All teachers are accepted with their various learning styles, capabilities, and disabilities. These will all provide a relaxed, accepting environment. Children are motivated to bring in the best of themselves and bring out their potentials. Active processing. The learners consolidate and internalize information by actually processing these information. Prior learning has been given recognition as having connections to current information. Preparatory activity is made before a unit of study is begun. The teacher prepares the stage to attach new information learners to prior knowledge. 12 principles. Need of rich, stimulating environments which utilized student-created materials and products. These are displayed on bulletin boards and display areas. Number 2, tables and desks are grouped together to develop social interactions, cooperation, and develop social skills. Learners must provide comfortable chairs and furniture for casual and informal discussion areas. Large pillows and carpeted floors will be most useful. Number 3, indoor and outdoor spaces should be linked so that students can move about freely. Number 4, learners should be provided safe places so that threat will be reduced, especially in city places. Number 5, there must be variety of learning centers or nooks with varied lightings. Some children prefer to work together in different nooks or corners themselves. Number 6, displays in the classrooms should be changed regularly to stimulate the brain development. Provide student stage sets where they can act out scenes from their readings or demonstrate science principles or act out a dialogue between historical figures. 7. Provide multiple resource. Provide educational, physical, and variety of setting within the classroom so that learning activities can be integrated easily. Computer areas, wet areas, experimental sciences should be in close proximity to each other. The goal of the facility is multiple function. Number 8, flexibility is a principle that has been recognized long before. The teachable moment must be recognized and capitalized on. 9. Active and passive places should be provided for students to develop their interpersonal and intrapersonal intelligences. 10. A personal space for learners like locker, desk, or a home base is provided each child to allow him or her to express his or her unique identity. Number 11. The community is utilized as a primary learning environment. Technology, local knowledge, business partnerships, democratic practices should be utilized for educational practices. Next, the brain can grow connections at any age. Challenging experiences with appropriate feedback are always developed with motor skills. And of course, optimizing learning through different media. Music is used to reduce stress, boost learning, calm down or energize, and as primer to energize the brain. The same is true with art. It provides avenues for self-expression. And that's the end of our report on local and global curricular innovations. Thank you for listening. Our hope is that our new normal today exposes what was wrong with our old normal yesterday and set us up for a better normal tomorrow. God bless everyone.